that lasagna stayed there, was left there, went moldy there. What also went moldy was our thoughts towards each other. Because she's like, doesn't he know how hard lasagna is? And I'm over there like, doesn't she know she messed it up? Right? And the thoughts got bad. But we didn't talk about it because, that's the culture we grew up in. You don't talk about conflict. You just step around it in the room, which is not healthy. And so one of the things that I was told growing up that I actually teach now is bogus, is happy wife, happy life.
Okay.
Because that says a husband should just keep his mouth shut. And that's really just a recipe for resentment.
Yes.
That really is what that is. So there's this thing called the 3 businesses. And this was phenomenal when we learned this. There's your business, other people's business, and God's business. That's how we teach it. So your business, what you think, do, feel, and create. You have full control over these things. You can control your thoughts. Your thoughts will become your actions. Your actions will become your habits. Your habits will become your character. And your character will define your destiny. So when you take control of what's going on between your ears and out of your mouth and what you speak, you can control your future.
Okay.
Because you can control what you think, do, feel, and create.
Okay.
The second thing is what other people think, do, feel, and create. You have zero control here. So I was teaching this concept. I was doing a workshop for a company where I was teaching a group of like managers and directors. And I asked them a question. I said, are you responsible for the work that the frontline managers and the frontline people do? And they're like, oh, yeah, of course I am. That's why I make the big bucks. These are the responses I get. And I looked at him and I'm like, no, you're not. I said, you are not. You don't do that work anymore. That is not your responsibility. That is their responsibility. And so they're like, well, what am I responsible for then? And I said, you are responsible for what you create. Are you creating an environment where those people have the right tools, talent, time, and techniques to be able to do the job well? Are you creating an environment where they're safe to innovate and try new things and fail and mess up and learn and grow? Because if you create an environment where they can be the best version of themselves, they will provide the best service, product, and offering to the customer, which will ultimately bring you profit. So if you want better profit, invest in the people that make it. And they were sitting there and they were like, no. Like, yes. Focus on the environment that you create. And so in your marriage, when me and my wife talk about this, in your marriage, a lot of people are told, well, you need to make your spouse happy. Their happiness is actually controlled by them.